Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am creating this super cute vampire look. It is a perfect look for a last minute costume. You can basically wear your own clothes, wear black, and just use whatever makeup you have. Hopefully you have like a red lipstick that you can smear in your mouth and make it look like you've been sucking blood all night or sucking other things. Well, hopefully you didn't do that to a Hopefully you didn't make a penis bleed, but I just thought about that. That's wrong. Okay, well, yeah. If you want to see how I got this look, just keep on watching. Again, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. And so we are priming our lids today with the Shape Tape in light medium. I am not going to worry about the brows too much because I don't really want like a super like defined glam brow today. I'm kind of just going to keep it a little bit more on the wild side. And then we're gonna set with some translucent powder and then we'll begin the eyeshadow. Okay. Amy's here, so you're gonna be hearing her in the background because she is caressing my cat. Sometimes it makes me uncomfortable, but you know.
At least I love her.
At least you love her. I have my handy dandy mirror here. This is the Jaclyn Hill Vault with Morphe, the Ring the Alarm palette. And I'm gonna go in with this color right here called Framed because the name of the color is actually in the front of the palette, so I know which color I'm using. That's very helpful. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So I'm using a Luxie 205 brush, packing on the pigment, and we're just gonna start stamping this into the crease. I'm not brushing, I'm stamping. We're gonna go for a dark vampy look here, so layer it on. Ooh, yeah. I'm not bringing it too high. I don't want the color to reach my brows. So I'm keeping it like just under the crease. So this is what I look like. It's a little scary. I know, we're getting there. Do I know exactly where we're going? No, but that is the journey. We're going into the color Alert. It's like an orange. It looks brown on camera. It looks like a camel color, but it's definitely more orange. And I'm using my Sonia Kashuk brush with no name. I'm pretty sure like this is going to be a thing. It's going to be the brush with no name, and I'm going to keep it forever. And the day that it dies, I'm going to die too. Okay, let me not say that. That's bad. Okay, so I'm going into the color Alert, and I'm just going to lightly, so I'm still on top of that framed color, but I'm just lightly blending outward in circles. So I'm basically going to diffuse the color Framed with the color Alert, if that makes any sense. And we're just gonna go in circles back and forth along the edges until it's nice and blended so that there are no harsh lines. So I'm gonna go ahead and do both eyes and then I'll be right back. So this is what we look like once it's blended out. There is like a patch here that just will not blend no matter what I do. I'm not going to be too concerned about it, but just keep that in mind. That was the color Framed from the Ring the Alarm palette, Jaclyn Hill and Morphe. So the next thing that I'm going to do, going into another Jaclyn Hill Vault, is the Dark Magic. And going into the color Temptress, I'm going to define the outer V using this Morphe brush that has no name, but it's like a fluffy domy brush, if that helps. And I'm basically gonna just get a little bit of product, you know, because it is black, tap off the excess. And I'm just gonna start stamping on the outer V. Maybe using this black, I will be able to cover that little section that is just not cooperating, that little patch. So I'm stamping this into the outer V and a little bit about halfway into the crease, just to create a little bit more depth. Now in the Dark Magic palette, there is this color here called Diversion, which is kind of like a gunmetal with hints of brown. I'm gonna swatch it for you guys. So it's like a gunmetal with a hint of like, maybe like olivey browns. And I'm gonna basically put that all over the lid. I'm gonna use my finger because I really want the pigment to come through. Ooh, it's looking really pretty mixing with the purple. I already put the color diversion on top. Honestly, I'm not really liking the way that these colors are blending. I've never done a look with the Vault palette before, at least like not something in depth with like shimmers and a lot of blending. But so far they are not blending well. It is slightly upsetting, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to save the day using the Jaclyn Hill palette, like the big one, not the Vault. And I'm gonna go into this color, which I believe is named Jax. It's kind of like a brick red. I'm using my Sigma E40, my trusty dusty. I'm gonna try to put this in the crease and see if the look can be a little more cohesive, because your girl was not amused. Okay. It's definitely helping. And I'm just gonna go ahead and keep on blending, 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 and wipe off whatever excess falls off. This is what it looks like now. I had to do a lot of blending with some of the original Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. The Vault, I don't know. I did not expect it to behave that way, but it just did. That's life. That's all we can do about it. The next move, I would like to do some liner, but I don't want to do like a winged liner. So what I'm gonna do is grab, this is my Galactic Precise eyeliner marker, and I'm simply gonna line the eyes. No wing, no nothing, just lining the eyes. This is what we look like with lashes now. I did put on some House of Lashes Iconics after lining my eyes. I also tight lined, put on some mascara. This is what we're looking like. It's looking a little bit better than in the beginning. I still don't really like the blend of the eyeshadows. Jesse. I still don't really like the blend of the eyeshadows. Not sure what the hell happened there. But we're just gonna move on to the face. And this is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer that I'm putting at the center. For foundation, I actually want to use something that is like way too pale for me. Like I want it to be just like way too pale, because for the most part, vampires are pale, at least like what you see in the movie. So I do have this, is a Maybelline Dream Velvet warm porcelain. I bought this a few years ago. We're gonna go ahead and start to place this on the skin, just blending out everywhere, and it is pretty pale, so this is a good color. I'm also gonna bring it down my neck, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that using my beauty sponge. This is the Real Techniques beauty sponge. I'm gonna go ahead and cover my whole face before we move to the next step. I am looking pretty ghostly right now. I do have this blemish here that just won't go away, and I'm just not gonna mess with it anymore, because you do not mess with Mother Nature, okay? You just don't. Now, this is the Naked Skin Concealer in Light. It's pretty pale. I'm hoping that it is pale enough for, oh yeah, that's pretty bright. Let's go ahead and blend this out first. Yeah, I'm going to New York next week for a Dermo Kennedy concert. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in one of my other videos, but I'm really excited. I'm just not excited for the 40-degree weather. New York is always fun for like a, you know, a little rip and dip. Come in, say hi to everybody, eat the food, and then come back home to the suburbs. You know, New York is just one of those places that, like, New York, I love you, but I can't stay. It's not you, it's me. All right, so we're looking pretty pale. I'm gonna go ahead and set this with the Coty Airspun, and then we will be right back to finish the under eye. Okay, so we're looking like Flashback Mary right now. Really cute. Shout out to James Charles. I am going to work on the lower lash now, lower lash line, and we're going to use a black Kohl pencil. This one is by Cargo, and I like it because it's really pigmented. We're gonna go ahead and put this in our waterline. Bitch, you are pale. Vampires are pale.
Your shoulders are so brown.
I know, I'm just gonna have to be like, just pay attention from here up. I don't want to put makeup all over my chest, okay? Since I did not like the Vault colors, I'm gonna go back into that Jack's color from the Jaclyn Hill palette using a small fluffy brush, and I'm gonna push that into the black to really smoke things out here. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, yeah. This is the kind of girl that I am. This color right here. Now I'm going back into the Alert color from the Jaclyn Hill Vault. It's like an orangey color. And I'm just gonna lightly place this on the outside. So like the lower lash is super blown out. Like super. Like it's almost reaching my eye bags.
You should.
Yeah, and then we're gonna put more little details there to feel more vampire. Always take a double look at your brows and your lashes after you've powdered, because powder typically tends to get in them. Then they don't look as good. So you always have to go over with a coat of mascara. Don't forget to do that. Some brow gel or some mascara, just to get the powder out of the way. I have this, the Busy Gal Brow by Tarte. This is the shade medium brown. I really like it. I do have pretty full brows, so it is, you know, it does work for me. It might not work for you, but for me it does, especially when I'm not doing a look where I'm focusing on brows. I'm focusing on the rest of the face. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, put some lower lash mascara, and then we'll be back to finish the under eye details. There is this really pretty color called Bomb Ass in the Ring the Alarm palette. I'm gonna try it out on the, it's a shimmer color. The shimmers are typically pretty good. It's the mattes that I'm having issues with, so I really want to try this because it is really pretty. I'm gonna put this right here on the lower lash line in the inner corner. Oh yeah, this color is really pretty. And then there's this other color on top called Lolly that I'm gonna get an even smaller brush, and I'm gonna put it on top of Bomb Ass. I'm actually gonna use Lolly as the inner corner highlight. Ooh, yeah, yes. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've put on Dose of Colors Bury Me on my lips. And now we're gonna do a little bit of some vampire contouring. Using the Dare to Create palette, I'm going into this brown right here because it has kind of like a gray undertone, and I don't really have a gray contour color. I don't think most people do. This is a Sonia Kashuk brush. Again, this brush has no name, but I'm dipping into that color, lightly tapping the excess off, and I'm keeping my contours high. And I'm gonna do a lot of blending. So we're gonna go ahead, work on this, and we will be back. But you definitely want a darker contrast contour than what you would normally use because we're vampires, okay? Okay, so I've gone ahead and I have contoured. It's definitely a much darker contrast. So the next thing that we're gonna do is, oh my God, I dropped my brush. Oh my God. Ew. Okay, that needs to be disinfected. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab like a little detail brush. This is a Morphe M250. It's like a very small liner brush. And I'm grabbing a red lipstick. I have red paint, but I don't really want that tone of red. So I do have these lipsticks by NYX. It's the Soft Matte Lip Cream. And this is in the color Monte Carlo. I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand. It's kind of like a deep crimson red. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some with my brush, and under the eyes, I'm gonna start drawing little veins, just little lines, like when the vampire gets hungry and their veins just start to like protrude from their eyes. That's the look I'm going for. Once I've gotten all the little veins I'm going to deepen them up with a little bit of black shadow just so that they're a little bit like darker and messier. Ooh, I'm looking vampy. I've gone ahead and demonized my eyes. I ordered some red contacts. They never got here, but if you have red contacts, definitely pop them on. It's going to make a huge difference in the look. It's going to look awesome. And now for the final touch, I would like to do some highlight as well as some blood. So for the highlight, we're going to use the ABH and Emery because you know what time it is. And I'm just using a fluffy brush. A lot of people like to use a fan brush. Feel free to do that as well. But I'm kind of just blending it into the contour and then bringing it onto the forehead because I'm trying to look like a Cullen over here, okay? Twilight AF. We have some Ben Nye Stage Blood, a nice little brush. I'm basically just gonna bring the brush into the blood and I'm gonna let it drip off the side of my mouth. And you kind of gotta tilt your head back. Things are gonna start getting messy. Putting some blood at the corner of my mouth, like if I'm a messy eater. I put on a choker and these cool little fangs that I bought at Party City. They were 20 bucks, but they will last you a lifetime. I bought them a few years ago. I lost it, which is why I repurchased it, but they will last you forever. They mold to your tooth, so you can talk, you can smile, you can eat, you can do whatever you want to do and still look like a vampire. The final step that I would like to take, which I don't know if this will be a look for me, but I do want to try it. I do have some red hair paint, and I just wanted to try maybe putting just like a little bit here in the front. Go closer. It's not showing up on my hair. This is the final look with my fangs, my blood. The red showed up just a little bit, not too much, but it's a cute little touch. It was fairly simple. It was just a little bit difficult when the eyeshadows were not cooperating in the beginning, but I think we made it work. So thank you guys so much for watching and see you next time. Oh, like, share, subscribe, all of the above. Tell your friends, tell everybody. Just follow me.